How's it going? It's Nathan Hawken. Welcome to the video. So over the last 12 to 18 months, I've been focusing on working with a specific niche, and that niche was leaders, corporate executives, business owners, even other coaches as well. So I've been creating content, I've been reaching out to potential clients who fit into that niche, and I've made the realization over the last month that this is not the right niche for me. Because over the last month, I've had my own coaches working with me, and I've taken a step back from my business. I've taken a step back from creating content and doing my outreach to really focus on my business. And what I realized was that I've been out of alignment with the people that I want to work with, and I've been out of alignment for quite a while now. And so I wanted to talk about that in this video, because I understand that when you're a coach, when you're a consultant, this can happen a lot, particularly around your niche, because there is a lot of focus on finding your niche and sticking to it. And you spend all this time, all this energy, all this effort working towards that. And one of the last things you ever want to do is stop and realize and say to yourself, actually, maybe I'm not in the right niche, because everyone tells you to stick to it once you've got it. So I thought it would be a good idea just to talk about that and just share what I've been learning and what I've started to understand about myself. So for me, working with leaders, corporate executives and business owners and other coaches, that's already it's a lot of different categories to fall into. But my reasoning behind it at the time, which was about 18 months ago, 12 to 18 months ago, I made the decision because I wanted to work with people who I thought were in these senior positions who would ideally be creating great things or have big goals and need help to create them, need help as they work towards them. So that's the type of people I wanted to work with. And it was a little bit selfish as well, because I also wanted to work with people that I saw were way ahead of me in the status of things, because I thought that'd be a good way for me to grow and get better and level up to ideally a position like that, not an actual position, but like that type of mindset with those type of big ideas. So I put in the work. I was reaching out to all these people. I was creating content. I was building relationships, and everything I was doing was built around those type of people and those type of positions. The problem was I actually didn't get too much business out of it, and something just felt wrong about it, or it just didn't feel right. There was something niggling inside me that I couldn't quite put my finger on, even though I kind of could, but at the time consciously I couldn't put my finger on. I was like, why isn't this working? Why doesn't this feel right? Like, what is going on? I noticed it more when I was creating content and I was talking about like leadership mindset and leadership in general and working with a team and stuff like that. And I knew it just didn't quite sit with me. And one of the big reasons is I've never been a leader in that position. So even though I know the mindset stuff is all good, I know I could coach someone at that level, what I was actually saying was incongruent with my experience and what I've been through. And I had a lot of that internal dialogue, which was about, well, who am I to talk about this stuff? Who am I to even share these type of things? As much as I knew it would help someone, every time I finished a video, every time I spoke about it, it just didn't sit right with me. The content was good, the positioning was all right. It's just the person behind it they weren't aligned. Like I wasn't aligned. And so because of that, I was starting to feel like a fraud. When I was showing up, when I was hitting record, I was feeling like I was a fraud. Not because I wasn't good at the work. I could definitely coach someone at that level, but it's because I was trying to speak from experience that I didn't have. And I think I did know it deep down inside. I just didn't want to admit it at the time and admit to myself that the last 12 to 18 months has essentially been a waste of time, which I understand now wasn't. But over the last month and this work that I've been doing and the thinking that I've been going through, and when I've actually gave myself a chance to step back and look at who I want to work with in my business and my niche, if you will, create a new offer and all those type of things, it just became abundantly clear of who I really want to work with. It wasn't a massive breakdown or anything like that. It was just like, oh yeah, this is what I've wanted to do from the beginning. I've always wanted to work with other coaches and consultants. The reason for that is, at an impact level, I've always enjoyed helping those who are out there helping other people. And I see it as a way where I can create more impact as well. Because if I serve those in a very powerful way, who are out there serving other people in a very powerful way, then my influence and my impact actually spreads greater, because what I do with a client then ripples out to the clients that they work. And from the very beginning of my coaching career, this has been something that I've always wanted to do. And I've even thought about creating my own coaching school at some stage in the future. And I thought about it ages ago, haven't really thought about it much that recently because I've got myself off track. But the other reason I love working with coaches is because I get it. I get the struggle. I know what it's like to have great results with your client and see them have these massive breakthroughs and go off and do amazing things, but not be able to create that in yourself. I know what it's like to show up in your own business as a solopreneur, doing your own thing, doing the work alone, no one really seeing what you're going through, and still having to show up for the rest of life, whether it be family, a full-time job if you're still working it, all your other commitments as well, getting in your own way and keeping yourself in that comfort zone because you don't have the help and you don't know what to do. But you know that you've got the ability and you've got the skills to be able to serve other people. And I definitely know what it's like when your revenue doesn't reflect your skills and your ability. I know what it's like to struggle to close that gap between what you're doing and what you know you should be doing. Because that gap is real, and this is something that we all struggle with. There's so many things that we know we need to be doing that are actually going to move the needle, but we just don't step up and do it because of our own challenges, our own struggles, our own patterns, and all the things that we help our clients with. We struggle to do ourselves. I know personally, I struggle to practice what I preach, and that's what holds me back. And when I really thought about this, when I really finally started to get myself back aligned with who I love to work with, realizing I've been off track, I also have to realize that it's not failure to change your niche or make a new decision about where you want to move forward to. It's not failure. There's only ever feedback. But I think this is one of the hardest parts because we might see it as a failure where we've put all this time, energy, and effort into focusing on one specific type of person, only to realize that that's not who we want to work with. But when you actually start to trust your gut, like listen to that instinct, listen to that feeling where like something's off, it's because it usually is. And there ain't nothing wrong with recalibrating and getting yourself back on track. Because what comes afterwards, and this is what has come after me, it's a lot more clarity about who I want to work with, who I want to talk with, who I want to serve, who I want to reach out with, who I enjoy having conversations with. The work actually starts to feel like it's yours again. And that's exactly how I'm feeling now. The work feels like this is mine. It's like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I've always wanted to do. Why did I even get myself back on track? Because I was started to chase the wrong thing. And that's okay to stop and pause, and if things aren't working, figure out why and get yourself back on track. And it suddenly feels like I'm not performing anymore. When I'd show up for my videos and hit record, it always feels like some type of performance. But now that I've got a new sense of direction, it just feels natural again. It feels normal. It just feels like, yeah, this is what I'm here to do. So it was my intention with this video to give you at least 2 things to take away from it. And the first is this: if you're a coach, consultant, you're working with people, and something feels off about how you're showing up, about how you're working, about the content you're creating, or anything like that, it probably is. Something is off. You need to figure out what it is. And sometimes changing who you work with can be the thing. But that's a question that you have to answer. And the second thing is, if changing direction is the thing that is off right now, just realize it's not failure. Because there is no failure, there's only feedback. But it's not failure to get yourself back on track and become aligned with what you want to do and who you are. Because it's your deep desire which is calling you back. It's giving you all the warnings. It's giving you that feeling. It's essentially telling you that, hey, you're off track now. It's okay to get back on course. So let's do that now. And that's something that you have to trust. Because ultimately, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter who you're working with, it all comes down to trusting yourself. You have to trust that feeling when it comes up. Don't ignore it, even though you might want to. But trust with yourself is going to be one of the most powerful things. It's going to take you forward to where you actually want to go. And if you are a coach or consultant right now, and this is like, yeah, you know what, this is exactly where I am. I get it. Like, something's off. I don't know what it is. No matter what I do, I'm just not moving forward. And there's a massive gap between what I am doing and what I know I should be doing. Reach out. I'll make a 2-hour spot available for you, and we can have a deep session. No sales pitch or anything like that, because that's not how I work. I just want to serve you. And if you can be another coach that I can help serve, and then you can go off and serve other people, then hey, that is a job well done. So thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I will be talking more about my new changes in the direction moving forward. But look, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.